Hi everybody, Philip Bruce at Stone Arch Law Office. I have a question here, and the question is, I want to give I don't have kids, and I want to give my estate to my 6 nieces and nephews. I have a couple siblings, and I want to make sure my nieces and nephews get my money. What's the best way to do this? And that's great. One thing to mention is that the default rules, Minnesota's backup rules, don't do that. So you definitely need to have a will, or you need to have a revocable trust so we can overwrite those default rules. Remember, wills go through probate, so if we don't care about probate, the will is what you want. If you are trying to avoid probate, you're probably looking at a revocable trust. You can name people on your beneficiary designations to just get the money when it comes to these financial accounts, for example. So I can name 6 people if the company will do it. Sometimes they only want you to name 2 or 3. But in theory, on these accounts, you can name adults as just getting the money, and it'll be split 6 ways. It'll skip the probate process. That's good. That doesn't always happen. There's a couple of issues there. First, they don't always want 6 beneficiaries. Sometimes they only give you room for 3. What are the backups? You can't typically say to my niece or nephew, and if something happens to one of them, then it goes to their kids. It doesn't go to their hypothetical spouse. We have big problems if that person's a minor. We do not give money to minors. They can't sign contracts. That is a disaster. So you got to watch out for some of these things. You can't do these backups, but you can do very simple transfers and just name people. Generally, a better option is a revocable trust, and the reason is I can now name the revocable trust potentially, depending on the asset, as getting my house, as getting my bank account, as getting my investment account, my life insurance, and then you think of this thing as being this private family entity. All that stuff dumps in here. Now that it's in here, now what? Well, we look at the trust agreement and whatever you want. It's very similar to a will and how it's drafted, and it's going to give it wherever you want it to go. So you can name all 6 nieces and nephews, and if something happens to one of them, does it go to the other 5 nieces and nephews now, or does it go to their kids? You name it. We can put some contingencies on there. If either the nieces or nephews or their kids in this case are under a certain age, we can put an age requirement on there and say you don't get the money until you're 25. There's lots of options with this stuff. Those beneficiaries are good for very straightforward things, but when we start dividing the estate up into smaller shares, oftentimes there's a little bit more complexity, and you just need to be careful. Any questions, give us a shout. My name is Philip Bruce at Stone Arch Law Office here in Minneapolis, Minnesota.